रथीनां पतये नमो नमो बब्लुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तताविने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नम उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृष्णवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निषङ्गिणे स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिण इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रिकाविभ्यो जिगागुंसद्भ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमोऽसिमद्भ्यो नक्तं चरभ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तिष्ठद्भ्यो दावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविद्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यस्त्रिगुंहतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्ठेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृद्भ्यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वनेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीडुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्र्याय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय चावस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय चापगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुध्नियाय च नमः सोऽभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय चावसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय चाशुरधाय च नमः शूराय चावबिन्धते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरुधिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिणे चेषु धिमते च नमः तीक्ष्णेशवे चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पच्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूद्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईद्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ॐ हर 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 ॐ नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय चारुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय च नमो अन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्त्याय च कूल्याय च नमः भार्याय च भार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः षष्प्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयणाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमः स्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेष्ट्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः ऊर्व्याय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशद्याय च नमोपगुरमाणाय चाभिघ्नते च नमः आखिदते च प्रखिदते च नमो वक्किरिकेभ्यो देवानागुं हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नम आनिर्हतेभ्यो नम आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां माभेर्मा रोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत या ते रुद्रशिवा तनो शिवा विश्वाह भेषजे शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजे तया नो मृडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिम् यथा नः शमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृदिक्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्चञ्चयोश्च मनुरायजे पिता तदश्याम तव रुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितम् मानो वधीपितरं मोत मातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीर्षः मानस्तोकेतनये मान आयुषि मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीर्षः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वधीर्हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आरार्ते गोघ्न उत पूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देव ब्रूह्यदा च नः शर्म यच्छद्विबर्हा स्तुहि श्रुतं गर्दसदं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहन्तुमुग्रम् मृडाचरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरघायो अवस्थिरा मगवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमीढस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया मीडुष्टमशिवतमशिवो नः सुमना भवा परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्रिं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहि विकिरिदविलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रगुंहेतयोन्यमस्मन्निवपन्तु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रधा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीनामुखाकृधि सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्याम् तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन्महत्यर्णवेऽन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठाः शर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्रा उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान ये पथां पतिरक्षय ऐलवृधायव्युधः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रिकावन्तो निषङ्गिणः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां येऽन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषभस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोद्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु तेयं विस्मो यश्च नो द्वेष्टितं भोजम्भे दधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सु यो ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्यो मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येनाप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि तमुष्टु हि यस्विषुः सुधन्वायो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वा महेशौ मनसाय रुद्रं नमोभिर्देवमसुरन्दुवस्य अयं मे हस्तो भगवानयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभेषजो यगुं शिवाभिमर्शनः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः स नः पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वानावेव सिन्धुं दुरितात्यग्निः ताम् अग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टाम् दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसितरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूष पृथ्वे बहुलान उर्वे भवातोकायतनयाय शय्योः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदस्सिन्धुं ननावा दुरितादिपर्षि अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानोऽस्माकं बोध्यविदा तनूनाम् रुदनाजितगुं सहमानमुग्रमग्निगुं भुवेम परमात् सदस्तात् स नः पर्षदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्षामद्देवो अतिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि कमीड्यो अध्वरेषु सनाच होता नव्यश्च सत्सि स्वां चाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यं च सौभगमाय दस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तं तवेन्द्र विष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नागस्य पृष्ठमभिसंवसा नो वैष्णवीं लोक इहमादयन्ताम् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Om Shri Sai Ram. Prayerful salutations at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Respected elders, my dear brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to one and all. In Bhagavad Gita's Dhyana Shloka, there's a beautiful verse. Prapanna parijataya totra vetraika panaye jnana mudraya krishnaya gitambrita duhe namaha. Who can really get the nectarine bliss of Bhagavad Gita? The answer lies in the first word, prapanna. Only those who surrender at his lotus feet can get that divine nectar. Lord Krishna is extolled as the Parijata, the wish-fulfilling tree. And there are two more phrases in that very interesting, which depicts Krishna. On one hand, he's having a cane, and on the other hand, he's having the Jnana Mudra, which depicts the union of self and the Supreme. Dear brothers and sisters, the world is of choices. We need to make choice whether we need the Jnana Mudra or the cane. The summer course in Indian culture and spirituality is a training ground which helps us to demarcate, to distinguish the secular knowledge and the spiritual knowledge. Started by Bhagavan himself, way back in 1972, the summer course in Indian culture and spirituality has lot of subjects has been discussed in this forum. In fact, our institute was established in 1981 and summer course was started in 1972 itself. That shows how much importance Swami gave to his subject, which is the spiritual knowledge. In 1972, Swami started the summer course telling that I will train my boys, I will train my students about my subject, which is the spiritual education. In his subject, the syllabus doesn't change, the topics do not change, the theories, the concepts, the process, the technology, nothing changes as we see in the transient academic world. In the 1973 summer course, Swami's focus was on Shankaracharya's teaching, famously known as the Bhajagovindam summer course, which is relevant even today. Nahi nahi rakshati dukrun karani Bhajagovindam mudamate, where we are all running behind technology and gathering data. Swami has told the truth in the 1973 summer course itself. If it was the Shankaracharya's teachings in 1973 summer course, subsequently Swami talked about various matters like Ramayana, Krishnavatar, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, human mind, and so on. We need to remember one thing is the passion of our beloved Bhagavan to his subject again. It is worth recalling his words during one of the summer courses. Swami has told, education must enthuse youth to understand the precious heritage of Indian culture and spirituality and to evoke the higher powers they possess. Though there are perennial sources and springs of strength within them, they behave like weaklings and ignoramuses. Patience, tolerance, tranquility, and calmness have to be implanted in their heart. Unquote. If Uddalaka sent Shvetaketu back to forest again after knowing that he has undergone 12 years of penance, by asking a question, do you have that in you by knowing which you know everything? Perplexed by this, Shvetaketu goes back to forest again for penance. Imagine any one of us sent back telling that you are not eligible after slogging out for 12 long years. Can we go back? But our Bhagavan is all compassionate. Through these summer courses, he reminds us the very purpose for which we have come. In fact, I would say it's a divine alarm right at the beginning of the academic year to all of us what we should focus on. There are a number of institutions which give degrees, which give competition as the main theme. But our Bhagavan, when education is a rat race, where winning is everything, but for Bhagavan, it is the participation in running which matters. I remember one of the incidents in a beautiful evening in Kodaikanal. It was in the year 2009. Swami was casually speaking to us, asking what you have done, what degrees. It was April holidays. Some of us were graduating. Some of us were going from first year to the second year, and so on. After some time, Swami switched to Hindi and asked one brother, "Kya kar rahe ho?" Which means, what you are doing. And he got up and he told Swami, "Diploma khatam ho gaya." Swami asked, "Diploma khatam ho gaya?" Khatam, which means finish. Actually, the boy went and told Swami, "Finish ho gaya, Swami, finish." And everybody burst into laughter. Swami was driving home an important message, and Swami immediately corrected him, "Bolo, degree khatam nahi hua, degree pura hua, or degree complete ho gaya." It is only with this divine touch we can complete our degrees. We can make our life purnam or pura. Otherwise, either we will finish the degree or the degree will finish us. To speak about Swami's education philosophy and the lessons derived from Indian culture and spirituality, we have two student brothers, one from the Vrindavan campus and from Prashant Nilayam campus, who will be addressing us. The first speaker from the Vrindavan campus, Simesh Bhaskar of third year BSc Honours Chemistry, will be speaking to us on the topic Tyage Neke Amrutatva Manushuhu. By sacrifice alone, we can attain immortality. Simesh hails from Mangalore, Karnataka. His interests include painting, and he's a dynamic sports person, gifted sports person. He is the volleyball man of the match in the Vrindavan campus, and he's having a brilliant academic record. He did his schooling in Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Trust, Alike, from his 6th standard to 12th standard. Followed by Brother Seemesh, we have V. Sairam from the first MTech class, Computer Science, Prashant Nilayam campus, who will be speaking to us on the topic, the dilemma of greater good, insights from Bharatiya epics. V. Sairam, currently studying in the first MTech class, hails from Chennai, and he has done his entire education in Swami's Institute, right from primary. Then on, he went to higher secondary school. He pursued his BSc honors from the Brindavan campus and went on to do MSc Maths in the Prashant Nilayam campus. He is part of the general knowledge quiz team. His interests include writing and public speaking. I request the speakers to come onto the stage in the order mentioned. They will be speaking to us. Followed by their talk, we have bhajans. Now I call upon Brother Seemesh Bhaskar.
The Vedas declare, Nakarmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amratattva manushuhu. Not by action, not by progeny, not by wealth, but only through selfless sacrifice, man can attain immortality. Om Shri Sai Ram, placing myself at Swami's lotus feet, invoking my parents' blessings. At the very outset, I express my heartfelt gratitude to our beloved Mother Sai for giving me this opportunity to share my views. Remembering and bowing down to the sacrificial heights our soldiers have achieved. Remembering and bowing down to the farmers of our country who give us food and clothing. Revered members of various trusts, elders, brothers and sisters, today I am here to share some of my views on the topic, sacrifice, the essence of Indian culture and spirituality. To begin with, let me start with a small story. A story which Swami himself told in one of his interview sessions. There was a Rajput kingdom. The crown prince had just gotten married. As fate would have it, the kingdom was going to war. The king, his father, told his son to stay back out of sympathy for the newlywed couple. And the prince decided to stay back. When the prince's wife came to know this news, she sent him a gift with a letter through her maid servant. It was a silver plate with something covered on it, with a cloth. When the prince removed the cloth, he was shocked. It was his wife's head. With trembling hands, he picked up the letter and read. It said, "It is your dharma to protect your praja, subjects. Your praja is your family. I will not let you turn away from dharma to stay with me. Go, fight the war." Even today, the children of Rajasthan are aware of the sacrifice of that noble woman. Had she been like any other woman, she would have been forgotten in the sands of time. Her sacrifice made her immortal. Tyage naike amritattva manashuhu. Going back in time, let me quote some examples from the Itihasas. A prince gave up his claim to the throne, all palatial comforts, and was ready to sacrifice the attachments to his family, just to keep up his father's promise given to his mother. Yes, he lived a life of sacrifice, and that's how Sri Rama, a figure who walked the earth millennia ago, is still remembered, adored, worshipped by millions now. Tyage naike amritattva manashuhu. In Kurukshetra war, Arjuna used to be terribly upset with agony that he had to touch with his feet the head that saints and sages, gods and goddesses worshipped and adored. Yes, he had to prod the charioteer's brows with left or right toe of his feet to indicate the direction. If the chariot has to be driven straight, both the toes had to be pressed with equal force. Sri Krishna, the Lord of the universe, never assumed the role of the universal sovereign, that is his real nature and status. That was the measure of his sacrifice for those devoted to him. And now, in every nook and corner of the world, we can see Sri Krishna's name heard everywhere. Tyage naike amritatva manushuhu. Okay, let me ask you all a question. What is illiteracy? What is illiteracy? According to me, if a person doesn't know how to read or write, it is not at all illiteracy. If a person is uncultured, then that's it. It's absolute illiteracy. And needless to say, the basic foundation for Indian culture is sacrifice. Yes, I can see many stunned faces. Let me elaborate it a bit more. Here, sacrifice means sacrificing the ego, sacrificing the bad in you to become good, better citizens, best citizens of the country. The easy way to head the path of sacrifice, the best way to do sacrifice in life is to consider everything positively, ups and downs, joy and sorrow. That's what Sri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Nadveshta kushalam karma kushalena anusajyate tyagi sattva samavishto medhavi chinna samshayaha. Which means considering everything positively, considering the ups and downs, joy and sorrow in life with full equanimity is real sacrifice. Lord Brahma had begun his role of creation. After a while, he felt that his creation was incomplete. So he meditated on Lord Shiva. Pleased, Lord Shiva appeared. Lord Brahma explained the problem to him and asked for help. Shankara separated Shakti from himself and gave the energy to Lord Brahma. That was how the Prakriti came into existence. Shankara's sacrifice for Shakti earned him the title Devonke Dev Mahadev Tyage Naike Amritatva Manashuhu. Today, if Jesus Christ is remembered by everyone, by billions of people, it's only because of his selfless sacrifice for the humanity. He sacrificed his entire life and died on the cross. His sacrifice is the reason why multitudes bow down to him even today. Mayurdwaja, we are all familiar with this story. When Sri Krishna and Arjuna came to him disguised as Brahmins and told him that their son had been captured by the tiger and it could escape only if the flesh equal to the body of the boy was given to the tiger. Mayurdwaja was immediately ready to offer his right half of his body to the tiger. When his body was about to be cut, a tear rolled down from his left eye. Stop, said Sri Krishna. This sacrifice is not being done with full heart. When asked why Mayurdwaja was crying, he said the left half of the body was feeling sad and bad that it cannot be offered for the sake of the boy. Immediately, Sri Krishna revealed himself as the Lord of the universe and then and there itself immortalized Mayurdwaja. Tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. Rishi Dadichi had received a boon from Lord Shiva that his bones would be used to make the weapon of Indra, that is Vajrayudha, the king of gods. After a few years, the gods needed the weapon. The great sage, without any second thought, gave up his life so that his bones could be used to make the weapon. Tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. In Ramayana, one of the incidences that stands out the most and fills the reader with awe and sympathy is the sacrifice of the noble Jatayu. Jatayu took upon himself the demon king Ravana to rescue Mother Sita, forgetting his own limitations. The demon king Ravana struck Jatayu down without any mercy. Jatayu breathed its last only after Sri Rama came to him. Sri Rama was so moved, was so touched with Jatayu's devotion and sacrifice, he himself did the final rites of Jatayu. Even his father Dacharatha didn't get that privilege. Tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. As revealed by Swami himself, Mother Kaikeyi sacrificed her name, fame, reputation, and honor to keep up the God's command. As Shirama's wish itself, she told Dasharatha to send Shirama to the forest. And the whole world continues to curse her. It was her immense sacrifice that made Shirama to start his mission and fulfill it. Okay, let me take a small jump from the past to the present. Usually, people ponder over the surface and don't go deep. Similarly, many of us know what happened that day in Chicago, but the past few days' struggle and sacrifice of Swami Vivekananda went unnoticed. When Swami Vivekananda landed on the soil of America, he realized that still there were 3 months for the conference to be held. But the money which he had in his pocket was just sufficient to 10 to 15 days. Someone said, if you stay in Chicago, you will become a pauper, and suggested him to go to Boston. We can't believe. A man who could shake the entire world after 3 months went to Boston and slept in the railway bogies, footpaths. He didn't even have a place to spend in Boston. Spending the nights in such a pathetic manner. Morning, he wakes up and goes with a bhiksha patra from house to house. Men and women of America said, "Ha! A brown man is coming to ask alms," and they closed their doors. At last, Swamiji was frustrated, irritated, and decided not to beg anymore. He decided to starve. But note, my dear brothers and sisters, for the one who lived his life with sacrifice, for the one who sacrificed his entire youth, for the one who kept at the command of Sri Rama, that is, Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi, Lord himself came and gave him food. This incident clearly indicates that when one lives a life of sacrifice, God will always be there to look after. After the conference, someone came to Swamiji and said, "Swamiji, what is that inherent power in you that makes you so popular, that makes you world famous?" Swamiji says, "Brother, the power of sacrifice I have done is flowing in every inch of my body in such a way that what America, the whole world should come and fall onto my feet." Power of sacrifice. Salutations to that great soul. Indian freedom fighters had fought against the British Empire and continued the Indian freedom struggle with their undying spirit and bravery. The fearless, valorous freedom fighters fought against the British Empire and sacrificed their lives to achieve the independence. A century of struggle, bloodshedding, sacrifices followed, and finally India became independent on 15th of August 1947. Independent India was the dream, was the goal, was the aim of each and every Indian who had the heart which pumped the blood of sacrifice into their veins. Yes, let me take a small jump from the present to the future. Vision 2020. Vision 2020, a book by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, explains the heights that Mother India will reach on the year 2020. Yes, we are heading towards that year, 2020. We have to know what to do on that year, 2020. Bhagat Singh sacrificed his entire life but died before he could get the independence. But if we work hard now, after 5 years, to see Jagat Guru Bharat, our photos will not be having garland hung around it. We will be alive. We will be in the Jagat Guru Bharat. We will be in the pinnacle of glory. But mark my words, if the foundation is not strong, we will collapse. We are bound to collapse. That foundation should be that of the essence of Indian culture and spirituality, that is sacrifice. It would be wrong on my part if I don't mention one person who is sacrifice personified. The Vedas rightly declare her as Matra Devo Bhava. Mother is verily God. She forgets herself, her conveniences, her comforts, and everything to see that small smile in her child's face. For Sathya Tyaga Jivi, we keep aside one day in the month of May, the second Sunday, as Mother's Day. What a plight. Each day has to become Mother's Day. On a concluding note, finally, if I had a chance to alter the words in the world-class dictionaries, I would first replace the word sacrifice with Sathya Sai. What a sacred life. What a life of sacrifice it was. There we can see a big bungalow sort of thing. Swami's residence. From outside, it appears like that. If you go inside and see the simplest of the simplest life he led, can't believe. One 8 by 8 foot room, one bed, one plate, one tumbler. He sacrificed his everything and took upon himself the struggling, the sufferings of his devotees. Though didn't have anything for himself, he provided the entire humanity with free medical care, aqua care, educare, and the list goes on and on. The very fact that we have many highly or rather supremely cultured teachers in our education and institutes, moved and touched by Swami, sacrificing their entire lives for the sake of we students, shows the strength of deep roots of sacrifice Swami has driven in them. What great souls. If not God, then who else can create such embodiments of sacrifice? Hats off to him. Yes, if life becomes a sacrifice unto him, then every human breath will carry the scent of blossoms of heaven. At last, I would like to say, self-centeredness is the killer of faith. Sacrifice is the pillar of faith. Whole Indian culture is itself a sacrifice to the humanity. Let us explore. Let us explore that hidden happiness, that eternal happiness of sacrifice. Once again, bowing down to my beloved Mother Sai. Jai Hind, Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my humble pranams at Swami's lotus feet. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to all of you. It was at the start of the Kurukshetra war when Arjuna asked Krishna to move his chariot between the two armies so that he might see all of his enemies. Even as Arjuna began to look at the faces of those people he had once sworn to destroy, he saw the faces of some people whom he adored, whom he loved, some whom he even worshipped. He saw Bhishma, the revered grandsire. He saw his gurus, Dronacharya and Kripacharya, and all of a sudden, Arjuna grew despondent. He lost all his desire for war. It was at that time when Krishna urged him to fight, to do his duty as a warrior. The dialogue that followed between Arjuna and Krishna, as we all know, forms the Bhagavad Gita. But the question is this: what made Arjuna lose his desire to do his duty? What caused this unseemly reaction in Arjuna? The answer to this is that where Arjuna should have seen opponents on a battlefield, Arjuna saw his kinsmen. Therefore, Arjuna had a confusion about his duty as a kinsman and that of a warrior. The underlying problem is that Arjuna was not in tune with the essence of dharma. This essence of dharma that is common to all people, irrespective of caste, color, race, creed, anything, is called Atma Dharma. Its application to specific scenarios and situations is known as Paradharma. Perhaps an example here would clarify the concepts a better. Let us take a bulb, a fan, and a radio. All these three are devices that run on electricity but perform different functions. The functions each of these devices perform can be compared to paradharmas, but the current is the same for all these three, and in a similar manner, the current may be compared to Atma Dharma. All these definitions are well and good in theory. In practice, how does one remain in tune with Atma Dharma? There are two methods out of a possibly many. The first method being follow the voice of one's conscience. The second method being think incessantly about God. Let us consider the first method. Our scriptures give us plenty of examples of individuals who are worth emulating. The Pandavas in the Mahabharata are one such example for the first method. For them, Krishna was the voice of their conscience. Whatever Krishna said, whatever Krishna commanded, the Pandavas would obey implicitly. One day, when the Pandavas were roaming in the forest during their exile along with Draupadi, the Pandavas saw a large and tasty looking fruit hanging from one of the branches of a tree. Now, being hungry, they decided to eat that fruit, and so Arjuna shot it down. To their surprise and dismay, however, they found that they could not even lift the fruit. Even Bhima, with all his superhuman might and ability, was not able to budge it by even an inch. And while all this struggle was going on in trying to move the fruit, the Pandavas did not realize that they were disturbing a sage doing his penance. This sage's name was Roma Rishi. Now, Roma Rishi had been doing penance in that forest for a number of years, during the course of which his hair had grown all over the forest floor. And the Pandavas were trampling upon this hair when they were trying to move the fruit. I'm sure you all would have guessed that by now that this fruit was no ordinary fruit. This fruit actually had the result of Roma Rishi's tapasya. It had that unique quality that anybody who would eat that fruit would not suffer from hunger or thirst for months and years to come. Of course, Roma Rishi awoke from his tapasya and divined that somebody was trying to take away the fruit. He did not know who was trying to take away the fruit, and he was furious. His angry voice echoed throughout the forest, asking as to who those people were, and the Pandavas heard it. And then they realized that they were in grave danger. As always, and immediately Draupadi called out to Lord Krishna, who appeared instantly. Now, when the Pandavas asked Lord Krishna for help, Lord Krishna said, I will protect you, but on one condition. This condition being that you will not question my any action at any point of time. Having said this much, Lord Krishna then instructed the Pandavas to follow him after a while and went straight to the ashram of Roma Rishi. The moment Roma Rishi saw Lord Krishna, he forgot all his earlier anger and he welcomed the Lord with open arms. And even while Lord Krishna and Roma Rishi were conversing, the Pandavas arrived. The moment Krishna saw the Pandavas, he got up, went straight and fell at their feet. The Pandavas were shocked. Obviously, they were devotees of Lord Krishna, and the Lord was falling at their feet. But of course, they had promised Krishna that they would not open their mouth no matter what Krishna did, and so they kept silent. Roma Rishi, upon seeing that the Lord himself was falling at somebody's feet, did the same thing. It was after this that Krishna told Roma Rishi the entire story and asked Roma Rishi to please give the fruit to the Pandavas because it would be very, very helpful for them during their exile. Roma Rishi now was very happy, and he obviously would not curse the people whom he had just now prostrated before. So he gave the fruit with his blessings to the Pandavas. The moral of the story is that whoever follows Atma Dharma never comes to any harm. And even if there is some danger to that person, the Lord will immediately come and protect them. Let us come to the second method. Think of the Lord incessantly. Now, thinking of the Lord incessantly and Atma Dharma are not two things that many of us would usually relate to. How is thinking about the Lord equivalent to following one's Atma Dharma? Let me explain this by using an analogy. I'd like you all to visualize a tree. Only this tree is an inverted tree. Its branches are below and its roots are above. Each individual is like this tree. The branches below represent the various roles this individual has to perform. So somebody might be a father. At the same time, he could be a friend. A mother could be an aunt to her nephew. But what about the roots? The roots represent the connection between the individual and his higher consciousness. For the branches to remain healthy, the roots must draw sustenance from the Atma. This is equivalent to being in constant communion with the Lord. And so by this analogy, we can see that thinking about the Lord incessantly is same as following one's Atma Dharma. An incident comes to mind. Again, it is in the Mahabharata and the Pandavas are involved. One day, during the Pandavas' exile, the sage Durvasa comes to visit Duryodhana in Hastinapura. Now, Duryodhana is obviously afraid of the sage's legendary ill temper and treats him first-class hospitality. And despite the sage's outbursts, occasional outbursts, Duryodhana somehow manages to keep Durvasa more or less happy. At the end of Durvasa's stay, he decides to confer upon Duryodhana a boon and asks Duryodhana, what does he want? Now, Duryodhana always had ill wishes towards the Pandavas and so asked this boon on behalf of Yudhishthira. He asked Durvasa, oh great sage, please go and visit my cousin Yudhishthira who is living in the forest right now. Please visit him, but don't visit him throughout the day. Visit him in the evening. The reason for this special rider on the request, please visit him in the evening, is as follows. Yudhishthira and the Pandavas were blessed by the Lord, by Lord Surya with a divine vessel called Akshaya Patra. This Akshaya Patra would not empty itself of food throughout the day as long as Draupadi had not eaten. In the evening, Draupadi would have had her meal, and so the Akshaya Patra would not yield any food until the next day. So when the sage Durvasa comes to visit unannounced to the Pandavas, Draupadi had already eaten by then and even washed the Akshaya Patra. So there was no chance that any food was available for Durvasa and his 1,000 disciples, by the way. And there was every chance that the sage would curse the Pandavas. Draupadi began to fret. And it was some small comfort for Draupadi when the sage announced that he and his 1,000 disciples would go to the nearby river to freshen themselves up and then come for the eagerly expected meal. The moment Durvasa went away from the Pandavas abode, Draupadi turned to Krishna and called out to him. And as always, Krishna appeared instantly before Draupadi. But this time, Krishna had a different game to play. Ignoring Draupadi's pleas for help, Krishna went straight and asked, I am hungry, give me some food. Draupadi said, there's not a morsel of food in the house. She was in tears by then. And she said, how do you expect me to feed you? I don't have anything with me, not a grain of rice. Krishna said, I don't believe all that. He went straight to the Akshaya Patra and ran his fingers along the inner surface of the vessel and found a single leaf. Of course, finding the single leaf was also his own leela. He had in fact created that leaf over there. He took it and put it in his mouth and exclaimed, this is enough to satiate my hunger. And even as Krishna ate this one single leaf, the hunger of 1,001 people, Durvasa included, was satiated. The Muni and his disciples were now, they didn't want Yudhishthira's hospitality and quietly slipped away blessing Yudhishthira. This is another example of how the scriptures provide us with stellar characters worth emulating. Now, for those people who incessantly think of the Lord has given an assurance. He said in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Meaning that those who think of the Lord incessantly, the Lord would provide for their material and spiritual needs. Another incident comes to my mind, and it's again about the Mahabharata and the Pandavas. It is, this time the setting is the Kurukshetra war. The war was not going particularly well for Duryodhana, and Bhishma was in command at that time. Incited by Duryodhana, Bhishma took a terrible oath. He said, on the following day, either he would destroy all the Pandavas or he would make Krishna take up arms. Hearing this, Draupadi was terrified because Krishna had earlier taken an oath that he would not lift any arms in the war. And Bhishma was no ordinary warrior. So Draupadi was in that terrible, fearful situation when Krishna comes to hers and the Pandavas' rescue. Krishna tells her a plan. He tells her, when night falls, you go straight to Bhishma's tent and fall at his feet. He must not recognize you when you do this, and he will give you the traditional blessing of Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. After he gives you such a blessing, he will not be in any situation to harm your husbands. And so Draupadi agrees to this and goes along, and Krishna accompanies her. It is night. Krishna suddenly realizes that the footwear Draupadi is wearing is causing a sound that could alert Bhishma to their arrival. And he wants Bhishma completely off guard when Draupadi falls at his feet. So he tells Draupadi quickly, give me your slippers. And Draupadi in that moment gives Krishna her slippers. Krishna takes her footwear and places it in his uttariya and wraps it. And then, of course, Krishna's plans always go perfectly well. Draupadi goes and falls at Bhishma's feet. Bhishma does not know who it is, but knows that it is a married woman from the sound of her bangles, and says the traditional blessing, Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. Draupadi stands up, happy, knowing very well that her husband's lives are safe. Bhishma looks at Draupadi, recognizes her, and realizes this cannot be her plan. This is Lord Krishna's doing, and laughs. He knows, and Krishna immediately enters the tent, showing himself now. The moment Bhishma sees this bundle, Bhishma is curious as to what Krishna is carrying, a bundle, that too at night. And so I asks him, please open this bundle. And when Krishna opens his bundle, Bhishma is shocked. He sees the footwear of Draupadi. And the old grandsire could only remark this, choking with tears. Oh Lord, what will you not do for your devotees? The Lord will do anything for his devotees. In 2007, when Swami went to Chennai for the Atirudra Mahayajna conducted over there, Swami visited the house of one of his devotees. And this devotee had arranged for a renowned Carnatic singer to give a recital there. Even as Swami entered the devotee's house, the singer began to sing this song, Krishna Nibe Gane Baro, which is a song entreating the Lord to come to the devotee. And Swami spontaneously replied in Tamil, Ada Vandache, which means, I have already come. Yes, Swami is that same Krishna. He was the voice of the conscience of the Pandavas then. He is the voice of our conscience now. All of us must obey the command of the Lord so that we may remain in tune with our Atma Dharma, so that we all please our Sai Krishna. In 1965 Guru Purnima discourse, Swami had commanded all his devotees to do Gita Sadhana. Now what is this Gita Sadhana? In an earlier discourse that same year, Swami had clarified that Gita was the command of the Lord, and that Gita Sadhana therefore would mean following the command of the Lord implicitly. I end my talk now praying to Swami that he gives us the strength, will and intellect to obey his commands implicitly. With this end, I conclude my talk. Jai Sai Ram.
पाहि गजानन दीनावना पाहि गजानन दीनावना पाहि गजानन दीनावना पाहि गजानन दीनावना सिन्दूरवदना श्रितजनपालना सिन्दूरवदना श्रितजनपालना पाहि गजानन दीनावना अम्बिकातनया अमराधीश्वर अम्बिकातनया अमराधीश्वर अगणित गुणगण आनन्ददायक अगणित गुणगण आनन्ददायक गजानन दीनावना सिन्दूरवदना श्रितजनपालना पाहि गजानन दीनावना अम्बिकातनया अमराधीश्वर अगणित गुणगण आनन्ददायक अगणित गुणगण आनन्ददायक पाहि गजानन दीनावना
गिरिधर नागर कुञ्ज विहारी गिरिधर नागर कुञ्ज विहारी मधुवन संचारी परति विहारी मधुवन संचारी परति विहारी
चारी परती विहारी
गिरिधर नागर कुंज विहारी
जय जय रामा जय रघुरामा दशरथ नंदन राजा रामा जय जय रामा जय रघुरामा दशरथ नंदन राजा रामा जय जय रामा जय रघुरामा दशरथ नंदन राजा रामा जय जय रामा जय रघुरामा दशरथ नंदन राजा रामा अभय प्रदायक आनंददायक अभय प्रदायक आनंददायक अभय प्रदायक आनंददायक आनंददायक त्रिभुवन मोहन सीतारामा त्रिभुवन मोहन सीतारामा त्रिभुवन मोहन सीतारामा त्रिभुवन मोहन सीतारामा दानव भंजन दीनोद्धारण दानव भंजन दीनोद्धारण दानव भंजन दीनोद्धारण दानव भंजन दीनोद्धारण प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा जय जय रामा जय रघुरामा दशरथ नंदन राजा रामा जय जय रामा जय रघुरामा दशरथ नंदन राजा अभय प्रदायक आनंददायक प्रदायक आनंददायक त्रिभुवन मोहन सीतारामा त्रिभुवन मोहन सीतारामा दानव भंजन दीनोद्धारण दानव भंजन दीनोद्धारण प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा प्रेमा सागरा साई रामा जय जय रामा जय रघुरामा दशरथ नंदन राजा रामा
गुरु महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ महिमा गाओ महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ गुरु महिमा गाओ
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदेवम् मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्राशयना ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी ओ साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Invoking Bhagwan's divine blessings. Tomorrow is the second day of the 3-day summer course in Indian culture and spirituality organized by the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning at Prashanti Nilayam. The morning proceedings of the summer course will be held in the Purnachandra Auditorium, which will be open only for the students and staff of the university and Higher Secondary School. The evening proceedings of the summer course will be held in Sai Kulwant Hall, where all are invited. Tomorrow's evening session in Sai Kulwant Hall will commence at 5 p.m. with Vedam chanting. At 5:20, the evening proceedings of the summer course will commence with the invocatory Vedic hymns chanted by the students of Bhagwan, followed by an introductory talk by Sri Shrikant Khanna, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, Prashanthi Nilayam Campus, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Will then be addressed on the topic Essence of Bharatiya Culture by Sri Sanjay Sahani, Associate Professor, Department of Management and Commerce, and the Director of the Brindavan Campus, Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. The evening program will then conclude with bhajans and Mangalarti, followed by Bhagwan's Divya Darshan. Jai Sai Ram.
ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరామ్. భగవాన్ శ్రీ సత్యసాయి బాబా వారి దివ్యానుగ్రహ ఆశీస్సులతో రేపటి రోజు శ్రీ సత్యసాయి ఉన్నత విశ్వవిద్యాలయం ప్రశాంతి నిలయంలో భారతీయ సంస్కృతి మరియు ఆధ్యాత్మికత యందు నిర్వహిస్తున్న వేసవి తరగతుల రెండవ రోజు పూర్ణచంద్ర సభామండపంలోని ఉదయం కార్యక్రమాలు విశ్వవిద్యాలయం మరియు ఉన్నత పాఠశాల విద్యార్థులు మరియు ఉపాధ్యాయులకు మాత్రమే పరిమితం. సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభామండపంలోని సాయంకాలం కార్యక్రమాలకు అందరూ ఆహ్వానితులే. రేపటి సాయంకాలం కార్యక్రమం సాయి కుల్వంత్ సభామండపంలో స్వామివారి దివ్య సమక్షంలో 5 గంటలకు నిత్య వేద పారాయణంతో ప్రారంభమవుతుంది. 5:20 వేసవి తరగతుల సాయంకాలం కార్యక్రమాలు స్వామివారి విద్యార్థుల ఆవాహన వేద ఉచ్చారణలతో ప్రారంభమవుతాయి. తదుపరి శ్రీ సత్యసాయి ఉన్నత విశ్వవిద్యాలయం ప్రశాంతి నిలయం క్యాంపస్లో డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ అండ్ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్లో అధ్యాపకులు శ్రీ శ్రీకాంత్ ఖన్నా గారు పరిచయ ప్రసంగాన్ని అందజేస్తారు. అనంతరం శ్రీ సత్యసాయి ఉన్నత విశ్వవిద్యాలయం బృందావన్ క్యాంపస్ యొక్క నిర్దేశకులు, డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అండ్ కామర్స్లో అధ్యాపకులు శ్రీ సంజయ్ సహాని గారు భారతీయ సంస్కృతి యొక్క సారము అను అంశంపై ఉపన్యాసాన్ని అందిస్తారు. రేపటి సాయంకాలం కార్యక్రమం భజన మంగళహారతితో సమాప్తమవుతుంది. అనంతరం స్వామివారి దివ్య దర్శనం. జై సాయిరామ్.
Till now, you were listening